The quantum jungle, a thought experiment. Imagine standing deep inside a dense, dark jungle. You cannot see the animals. They remain hidden behind leaves, branches, and shadows. The only thing you perceive are sounds, rustling, calls, the cracking of twigs. You start listening, again and again. After hundreds of repetitions, you begin to recognize patterns. Certain sounds appear more frequently at dawn, others at dusk. You group the sounds into categories and build a statistical model. This sound corresponds to a particular monkey with 73% probability, that sound to a predator with 41% probability. Eventually, you possess a complete statistical classification system. You can predict with high accuracy which sound will occur when. You can even draw a map of probability distributions across the jungle terrain. Yet you have never seen a single animal with your own eyes. You do not know its physical structure. You do not understand the mechanism that produces the sound, and you have no insight into the causal process linking the animal to the signal you hear. You have built a fully functional descriptive layer, a perfect statistical compression of the observations. But you have no generative understanding of what is actually happening inside the jungle. Here is the crucial point. One might be tempted to think that the sound itself is something mysterious, a single entity in a kind of superposition that magically adapts to your presence or your way of listening, as if the jungle is reacting directly to the observer. But that is an illusion created by the limited access. In reality, there are simply multiple independent animals, each producing its own characteristic sounds according to their own nature and behavior. The different sounds do not collapse or change because you are listening. They were always there. You only ever hear one at a time, and over many trials, the statistical pattern of which sound appears emerges naturally. This is exactly how quantum mechanics works. We only hear the sounds of the measurements. We construct a beautiful probability distribution, but the real mechanism, the animals in the jungle, remains hidden from view. What is achieved and what is missing? The observer in the jungle has constructed a complete statistical classifier and accurate predictions of signal occurrence. This corresponds to a fully functional descriptive layer. What is missing, however, is the structure of the animals, the mechanisms producing the sounds, and the causal processes linking each source to the signal we hear. Classification has been achieved without generative understanding. Misinterpretation risk. A conceptual shift occurs if someone claims the statistical mapping fully defines the system, or the sound changes because we are listening. This would imply that the classification layer is treated as fundamental and the absence of a generative model is no longer recognized. In this case, a derived representation is elevated to ontological status. This jungle analogy helps us see an important aspect. We have developed a very effective way to describe and predict the statistical patterns of quantum measurements. Yet the true mechanism that produces each individual event remains hidden, just like the animals in the jungle.